Hello guys. So we are going to continue our discussion with respect to Python. And now we are going to see some of the examples using functions in Python. Already in our previous video, we saw many topics on functions with examples. There are a lot of advanced topics that are going to come. Before that, I thought why not create some examples and solve those. So let us go and discuss examples one after the other. The first one is temperature conversion. So we'll temperature conversion is nothing but Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we will create a function and see how we can implement this logic. So definition, I'll write a function name called convert temperature, and within that I'm going to pass two variables or two parameters. One is the temperature and the other is the unit, if it is Celsius or Fahrenheit. Okay, and then I'll write the doc string. Again, this is mandatory, but a good practice. This function converts uh, temperature between Celsius and Fahrenheit. FAH, Fahrenheit. Okay. And then I'll write my if condition. If unit is equal to Celsius or C, then I'm going to return temperature that was passed from the user multiplied by 9 divided by 5 and then plus 32. So this is the logic to convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit. You can Google that also. Elif. So here we are going to use the conditional statements if, else, return everything, guys. Elif unit is equal to Fahrenheit F, then return temperature minus 32. I'll have this in the brackets, then multiplied by 5 divided by 9. Okay, else return none. Okay, so this is my function definition, which would convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now I'm going to call the function print convert temperature, and within this I'm going to pass 25 as my temperature, and the unit I'll be passing as Celsius. Okay, now I'll do the same, but I'll do it for Fahrenheit. 77, and then I'll put it as F. Now let me execute and show you the output. So first one gave me 77. So this is 25 degrees centigrade, and it converted this centigrade or Celsius to 77 Fahrenheit. Similarly, this 77 Fahrenheit I'm passing, I'm asking it to convert to Celsius. So it gave me 25 degrees Celsius. I hope this is clear, and we'll move towards the next example. So password strength checker. So whenever we try login to or sign up, we are trying to sign up to a website. It's asking for a password, right? So how do we give a strong password? You would have seen that many times, like whenever we sign up to a website, right? So whenever you enter a new password, it says if your password is strong or weak. So that's what we are going to see. How do we define a function for that? So def is strong password. I'll pass the variable as password only, or the parameter as password. Let's write a doc string. So this function checks if the password is strong or not. Then I'll write my if condition, if length. So first check would be the length of the password should be greater than or equals to 8 characters. If it is less than 8, then it's not a strong password. So length of password, if less than 8, then it should return false. Return. Okay. And the next check would be there should be at least one digit, one number in the password given. So we'll check that. If not any character dot is digit for char and password. Okay, return false. So what this is doing, this if condition. So we are checking for character and password. So we are checking each and every character in the given password. And if any of the character is a digit, then it's a strong password. If not, then it will return false. Okay. And the next condition would be there should be at least one lowercase letter in the password. We'll check the same. So let me just copy the same if statement. Okay. But here instead of is digit, I'll just write is lower. Okay, so for each character in the password, I'm checking if any character in that password is lowercase, then it's a strong password. If not, it should return false. So this is what if not any. Okay. And then I'll have the same for, okay, the next condition would be the password should have at least one uppercase. Uppercase. Okay. If not, it will return false. So one last condition we need to check for the password to be strong is it should have a special character. Okay. So let us write that. So instead of this, what I'll do is char in, and I'll write the regular expression, or I'll pass all the special characters for which it should be checking in the password. So first exclamatory, then at the rate hash, dollar, percentile, cap, ampersands, asterisks, brackets. Okay, all these are some of the special characters which I'm giving it to check in the password. So if all of these conditions are met, it should return true. True in the sense password is strong. Okay, so this was my function definition. Now let me call the function. I'll use the print statement and then I'll call the function and then I'll pass one password. So suppose week password. This is one of my password. I'm passing it to the function while calling it. And next I'll pass another password. Suppose it's str and ONG and then PWD and then special character. Okay, so I'm calling this function twice. Once I'm giving this as my password and the second time I'm giving this as my password. So let us execute and see the output. Okay, so if you see here for the first one, it gives the output as false. So false in the sense this is a weak password. And for the second one, it gives the output as true. True in the sense this is a strong password because we have the length is greater than or equals to 8, the password length. And it has one uppercase, it has lowercase, it has numbers or digits, and it also has a special character which satisfies all of these above conditions. Okay. Let's go and calculate the total cost of items in a shopping cart. That would be our third example. Okay, let me quickly create the function here. Calculate total cost. Okay, I'm passing the variable as parameter as cart. And for now, okay, let me just write the pass keyword here. I'll just create the dictionary for the cart items. Okay, and later we'll write the function definition. So cart, I'm creating a list here. And within this list, I'll be passing some dictionary values like the name of the item that I purchased and the price of the item and the quantity of items that I took. Okay. So first we'll write name, suppose apple. Then I'll write the price of the item, okay, price, and then I'm passing the value as 0.5. Then I'm mentioning the quantity. Quantity, suppose it's 4. Okay. Similarly, I'll do this for few other items in the cart. I'll have a comma here and then copy the same. And then suppose I write banana and price, suppose at 0.3. Quantity is 6. Then again a comma and I'll write one more item here. For example, orange. Price is suppose 0.7 and quantity I'll give it as 3. Okay. Now let us write the function definition. Okay, so I have the cart items here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the total cost for each item. So initially, let me define a variable called total cost is equal to 0. And then I'll write a for loop for item in cart. So it will start looping this cart items here. Total cost plus is equal to item, and I'll give the price here, items price multiplied by items quantity. So this is how we calculate the total price. Okay. And then I'll come out of this for loop and I'll just return the total cost. Okay. Now this is my function definition. This is the cart items. These are the cart items. I will just call the function now. So calling the function. Okay. Total cost is equal to calculate total cost. And within this, let me pass the cart items. And then I'll print the total cost here. Let me quickly execute this and show you the output. Okay, it's giving the output as 5.89. Okay, this is the total cost of the items that was purchased. I hope this is clear, guys. Now let's move towards another example to check if a string is palindrome. So what is palindrome? Suppose I write one word called ACA. Okay, so even if you read this word forward or from backward, it will be the same, ACA. So this is what palindrome is, and we are going to pass a string and we'll define a function which will check if the given word or given string is palindrome or not. We can also pass a statement, but the function will simply return if it's palindrome or not. So let us go and define the function or create the function for us. It's palindrome. And I'll pass one parameter as s. And what I'll do is I'll just write s is equal to s dot lower and dot replace spaces with blank values. Okay, so what this is doing is it will convert all the characters to lowercase, and if there is any space in a sentence, that will be removed by a blank or nothing. Okay, so we are just removing all the spaces from a sentence. So then return, I'll do s double equals to s, and I'll write a slicing function here to read it from backward, like from ending to the beginning. Okay, return. So this is my slicing method. And then this is my function definition, guys. And I'll print and call the function here. This palindrome, a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. Okay. So if you see this right, even if you read it from the starting or from ending, it will be the same. A man. So if you see here, a man, a plan, PLAN, and then a canal, CANAL. So read it from starting or read it from the backward to forward, it will be the same. So this is a palindrome sentence. I'll write another word or statement which is not palindrome. Sorry, it's palindrome. And I'll pass, suppose, hello world. Let me just execute this. Okay, so the first one, it returned it as a palindrome, that is true. For the second one, because it is not palindrome, so it returns me as false. So just by using the slicing operation in the return, we easily were able to do this function. Okay, so let us now go ahead and check another example to write factorial of a number using recursion. So recursion is nothing but you are calling a function is inside or within the same function multiple times. Okay, so let's write the function definition here. I'll write an example of factorial, and I'll pass a parameter as n and a if condition if n double equals 0. So if the number is 0, then the factorial should be 1. Else return n multiplied by, I'll call the same function again, factorial of n minus 1. So factorial is nothing but return, sorry. So factorial is nothing but, suppose I pass a number 4, then it should be giving me the output of 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4. Okay. Then what I'll do is, I'll come outside of this function definition and I'll try to call this function factorial of 6. So this is giving me 720. Okay. So the next example we are going to see is to create a function to read a file and count the frequency of each word. We have not yet discussed about file operation, but I just wanted to show you how we can create a function to do this task. We'll be discussing in detail on file operations in our upcoming videos. So let me just create a function for that. Def count word frequency, and I will pass the parameter as file. Okay, let me create the word count variable here and empty. I'll pass it as empty. Now let me write the syntax. How do we read a file? Okay, so with open file path, comma, I want to open this file in read mode. So R stands for read mode. Similarly, we have write mode, append mode, and all. Don't worry, guys, we'll discuss everything in detail in the upcoming videos regarding all the file operations. Then I'll write a for loop here for line in file. Okay, words is equal to line dot split. I'm splitting the words, and then for each word in words, then word is equal to word. I'm trying to convert everything into lowercase now. Lower dot strip. I am planning to split so the strip function, what it will do is it will split the word based on the parameters you pass. So I'm passing some special characters here and I want to split the words as per this instruction. So full stop, comma, then exclamation, question mark, colon, semicolon, then I have this slash. Okay. So these are my characters on which I want it to split. Then I'll do the word count. Word count, and I'll pass the word here. Count this word, and I'll do word count dot get word comma 0 plus 1. So here what I'm doing is if a word is present, if a word is already present, then increment the count by 1. If it is not, then have the count as 0. Okay. Then come out of this for loop and I'll return the word count here. Okay. Now we'll have to create a file. I already have a file created. If you see here, the sample.txt where we have hello world, how are you? My name is Ipshita. So I have 2 words here. And let us see the count of each word in this text. I'll give the file path here. File underscore path is equal to sample.txt. Okay. Now I will call the function word frequency is equal to count word frequency, and I'll pass the file path here. Okay. And next I will print the word frequency. Let me just quickly execute this and show you the output. Okay. So if you see here, it gives the count of each of the word as 1. And for Ipshita, it's giving the count as 2 because that's what we gave the text here in the sample.txt file. Okay. I hope this is clear and you're able to understand the functions. Don't worry if you are not being able to understand the file operations. I'm going to cover in details with many more examples in my upcoming videos. And the next one is validate the email address. So anytime you pass one email address or you log into some website, you're trying to you're trying to giving one email address. So it first checks if the email is valid or not. So this will be a task for you. But anyways, I'll be giving the piece of code and you are going to try it on your own and try to understand each and every line of code. Okay, so this is the piece of code. Import RE. RE is nothing but regular expression. And this is the function to validate the email. It says is valid email and we are passing the parameter as email. So this function checks if the email is valid or not. And in the pattern, I'm passing the regular expression here, the pattern for the email check. And then I'm trying to call the function with 2 different examples. One is test@example.com and one is invalid email. So this is not having @, this is not following the valid, like the validation check. This is not passing the validation check. So that's why it will return the output as false here. Okay. I hope you like this video. This was it from my side. I'll see you all in my next video.